What up, though, everybody? This is another episode of the Pop Culture 223 podcast. We got a good one today. But before we jump into the show, please hit that like button. Like I said before, hit that like button, subscribe button. Also, leave a comment. If you want to see us interview somebody or do some content or some reviews or something, let us know. Put it in the comments. Maybe we can get the people on. Maybe we can't. But we're gonna definitely try. We're trying to get the numbers up and catch that algorithm. So like I said, hit that like and subscribe button, man. Please show the love. So today we got the owner and lead instructor of Mr. Double Tap Coalition. I seen bro. He was at the NRAM. I was supposed to be there. Pop Culture was supposed to be there, but we wasn't. And I seen he sat down and did an interview with the homeboy Arm Atlas on the Gun Club Radio. And what got me curious what was going on, because Arm showed it, and I called him about it. I said he got a book out. And I was like, oh man, we got a book out. So I wanted to kick it with him and talk about the book, talk about him. And I also been following him too. I seen he's in Atlanta. He's a Atlanta native. And he did some stuff at the KD compound, and they've been shooting, and Mr. Double Tap Coalition. So I immediately gravitated to that name. So I'm gonna let bro introduce himself, man. Tell you, just like, hey, give us a little background, where you from, all that good stuff. And then we jump right into the conversation. So go ahead and hit it with it.
All right, man. My name is Harrison Benton. I'm the owner of Double Tap Coalition. Like you said, I was born and raised right here in Georgia. I was born in Decatur, maybe 15, 20 minutes right outside of Atlanta. So I'm not from Atlanta. I'm from Decatur, like everybody else. But been here all my life, pretty much.
You've been in Atlanta all your life. I've
Yeah.
been down there a couple of times, man. I had some family down there, man. I came down there and trained with Big Mike. Shout out to Big Mike 7. Big Mike
Word.
down there in Atlanta, man. He's yeah, man. Me and him been cool. Me and him been cool for, I want to say, shoot, probably 3 or 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. It's been a minute.
Oh yeah.
Time flies, man, in the game sometimes. I came down there and shot with him, man. He showed me some protection bodyguard work and
Yep.
celebrity and
Yep.
all that. So he did show me some techniques, man, and we, like I said, we've been friends ever since. But what caught me about why I want to do this interview with you, man, because the book. But talking to you, I know that you know what I'm saying, you got a lot more. But I understand why you created the book, but it's a lot more to you than just the book. And so tell us a little bit about where I guess your history, and that whole little spiel you told me in your notes. I know you said that at a young age you wanted to be a rapper. So I thought I was trying to find some beats so you can go freestyle on here. I was gonna put you on the spot and have you
Oh
freestyle,
man.
but I know you said you wanted to be a rapper, and then you was going down, the wrong path, and then your godfather told you, man, you should. I think it was your godfather said, man, you should join the army. So this, tell us a little bit about that and how that came about, and you first thought you was going to be a southern rapper like Ti or Outkast or some of them,
Man,
or
look,
Jeezy,
that
and it didn't go like that. So let's talk about a
nah,
little bit
it
about
didn't.
that.
Yeah, it didn't go that way, man. But I guess I don't know. It's something about being out here from Atlanta, man, and growing up in the music culture. It was just like I want to rap. I want to be a rapper. So my pretty much my whole adolescent growing up, man, I was trying to be a rapper. And man, coming out of high school, some of the people I was running with is just like we was making a whole lot of bad decisions, bro. Like I hate to use the term YN, but we was the original YNs. You know what I'm saying? And my homeboy's brother, that's why I call him my god brother. He was always telling us like, "Yo, as long as y'all making the right choices, I got y'all back." And the somebody he knew was a recruiter. She was the commander at a recruiting station, and she was like, "You want to join the army?" I was like, "Nah." At first, like, I don't want to do that. I'm a rapper and I'm doing this over here. And man, one day I had braids, and the girl who was braiding my hair, like, she couldn't do it. So I got tired because I couldn't get nobody to braid my hair. Man, I called the recruiter back like, "Yeah, let's do it," because I ain't really got a whole lot going on, and knowing who my mama was, like, they ain't play that. So man, they told me they'd give me a bonus of like 20,000. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gone." I cut
So
my hair, man, and it was a wrap.
so they sold you on, so you couldn't get, so let me get this straight. You couldn't get your hair done and they sold you on 20 racks, so you just jumped in. Is that
Man,
base?
gone, out, gone, dog. You gonna give me 20,000? Gone. Cut this off, and man, I'm out of here.
So tell me a little bit about growing up in Atlanta as a, because from my understanding, I seen this video and I know what's the YN age. Like what age is considered YN? Because I think it's before like 15 or 16. You just a youngin. So what age is
Yeah.
considered a YN?
I haven't really seen the chart. I think I might have grazed past it once.
Hey, I
I
seen it
mean,
on
for
Instagram.
me,
Somebody sent it to me. I think it was a Detroit dude. Was like, yeah, it's like a grade chart, and I don't want to say I can't remember what it is, but it's like from like maybe a 9 to like 13 or 14, you a little youngin. From 15 to 25 or something like that, you a YN.
I can
So,
see that. I just anybody I see with a Pooh Shiesty mask, man, you a YN. Oh, it's just, you got this little Pooh Shiesty mask on, you a YN. You suspect to me, so I ain't
hey
even put
man,
an age on it.
yeah, man, that Pooh Shiesty mask came out, and that just and people wear them things not even cold outside. Like them things been around forever.
Yeah,
We was wearing them outside, training, shooting, and all that crap. All of a sudden, now Pooh Shiesty got it on. Whatever that little situation happened with him, and now everybody rocking Pooh Shiesty. It's 80 degrees out, and they got the Pooh Shiesty mask on. So
straight up. Like why? For what reason? So yeah.
yeah. So how was growing up in the A, man?
I mean, for me, man, it wasn't really too bad. It was regular for me, man. I mean, we had the typical circumstances growing up too. Money wasn't very resourceful, so you had to adapt to the environment, man, and become resourceful. It wasn't bad, man. It wasn't like crime ridden. I ain't had no whole gangster story growing up. We did regular shit, I guess. What I would consider regular.
It's crazy. Like when you young and you in the hood, you don't know the struggle until you get older, until you got responsibilities and something happen. You just running around that little, a little gent doing your thing. It is what it is, right? You don't really see
Yeah,
the how bad or the madness of what it was until you get out of it and you look back like, oh dang, I did this, I was doing that, damn, we was doing that. But these youngins taking it to a whole nother level. So
oh
uh,
yeah, yeah.
they a
It's
little bit
it's a
more
whole man.
they're a little bit more
It's crazy.
advanced than we was. I guess we were doing more advanced stuff than the OGs, but I guess it's just the way the game go, man. So
Man, I
talk.
think it's adaptability though. You know what I'm saying? When you say advanced, it's technology. Like they doing this with the new stuff that's coming out. We didn't have it. If we had what they have, we probably would have been on that side too. We would have been a little worse.
Well, I tell the homeboys, if we'd have had what they had, either we would be if the amount of access they got to stuff, and we had access to some of the stuff, but not like the internet, education, all that stuff. I mean, watch social
Yeah.
media, but either we'd have
Right.
been millionaires or we'd have been more in trouble, right? Because
Fact.
now
Fact.
people can see what we're doing, or we'd have been millionaires because we did a lot of silly stuff that people now videotape or do shows on, or have movies or stuff. Now you see them, making money on TikTok and doing all Instagram and little short form movies. If we had that ability to take, videotape us doing crazy stuff, we'd probably be millionaires. But some of the other
True.
stuff we was doing, we probably been in some we'd have been in some trouble. Could you imagine
I
back
agree.
then, like around my time? Could you imagine like the girls got like now? Like I tell my son, like you gotta be 10 toes down with a chick because she can have an Instagram social media following like 10,000. Can you accept that when people slide in her DM? You know what I'm saying something a little
Right.
slick to her. Back then, I didn't have that. Like the only how you gonna holler at my chick was gonna be at skating, roller skating or at the movies or at the mall. You know what I'm saying? It
Yep.
wasn't accessibility, you know what I'm saying, to the ladies like it is now. Like you can jump on Instagram and look up some stuff and you be like, oh, I'm about to slide in her DM and say something slick. Now it's some slick shit about to go on, streets find out, then it come to, it roll into something else. But um
Yep.
that's just it is what it is. So how about talk to us a little bit about you going into the army. Like how was that? How was that
Mm,
experience when you went into the army?
man, at the time, and it was for me that was like the next step in life because I had never been away from home. So going in, it's like, yeah, you all hyped up. But once you get in that van and you leave, it's like, yo, this shit's real. You're going away from home. Like there's nothing, nobody around. Like you going away from home. And at the time when I left, man, my brother was actually locked up. He had been locked up for a couple months. So I'm trying to see. Yeah. So I actually had to break the news to my brother while he was locked up that I was leaving, and when he got out, I wasn't gonna be there. So it was tough, man. It was that whole emotional leaving home thing that I had to go through. But once I got over that hump, man, it was downhill.
So is that your older brother? Because I said I think you the
No,
old.
I'm
It's
the oldest.
you
That
the
was my
oldest
middle
of
brother.
three, right? Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
Is it three boys or two boys, one
yeah.
girl?
It's three boys.
Oh, y'all was on that boy wrecking shop then, huh?
Man,
Yeah.
listen, we gave my mama a run for her money now. We definitely gave her a run for her money now.
So how long was you in? You was Army,
I
right? What
did,
what what
yeah, I
what you
did
do in
8
the
years.
Army?
Transportation, I was a truck driver.
All the homies, man. A lot of people I know, they get in, they get into logistics. Like I said before, they all get their CDLs and all that trucking stuff from the Army. Okay, so you
Yeah,
got
the
out
other
when?
shit, I didn't want to do that. It was 2015. 2015, I got out.
So you got deployed to Iraq, if I'm
Yep. Iraq, they tricked us, man. They told us we were going to Kuwait. And then we got to Kuwait, you know what I'm saying? And it had been rumored, yeah, they're going to send half of y'all to Iraq. We was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we get there, and motherfuckers like, pack 2 weeks of clothes and we'll be back. Bro, we didn't come back for months. We was fucking gone, dog. We didn't come back for months.
How was that being out being in Iraq in 2011?
It sucked. It sucked. So when we was over there, that was right at the withdrawal when they were shutting down. So our task was to bring all the stuff back down. And everywhere we went, man, like they were shutting stuff down. So a lot of the resources were going away. And people couldn't send us stuff. They had to send it to Kuwait and then drive it into Iraq and hope that we were there when they got there. So that was the biggest thing, man. The resources were depleting. Motherfuckers leaving. They was turning some of the bases back over to the Iraqi army. It was a wild time, but it sucked just because we didn't have resources. Mind you, we left on 2 weeks worth of stuff to be gone for months. So
So
it
y'all
was
had
crazy,
like
man.
seven. Y'all had like five. Y'all was washing clothes every 24 hours or wearing clothes for 3 or 4 days before y'all got
Yeah,
to
yeah, you
wash them
definitely
or get
wearing them
some
clothes
clean
for three,
stuff.
4 days.
So
Oh yeah,
y'all was some funky mofos over there.
oh yeah, we was funky, bro. We ain't had the tools to shave. Sometimes you had to take your own water with you. It was rough, man. It
So
was
you got back in what, 2012?
rough. Yeah, I came back home in 2012.
Now you had mentioned it was a tragedy, something and I'm assuming it's your middle brother. Um
Yep.
and you said you got back and man and you had a traumatic experience or your family's going through some, a traumatic experience with some gun violence. Just talk a little bit about, how that was and what was going on. If you know what I'm saying, you can elaborate on it or want to.
So, my bad. My brother, he was in the streets. That's just what it is. I'm not afraid to tell people that either. But during the time, man, his best friend, he got killed. So when the funeral came up, the people who was involved with that situation showed up to the funeral. And after the funeral, a fight broke out. And the dude, one of the guys, ran to the car to get a gun, and he started shooting at people. And my brother actually went and got his gun and shot and killed the dude at the funeral. And my brother was transported to the hospital, and he died at the hospital. So maybe a month or so after I got back, man, I lost my brother. He died at the funeral. Well, he died. He got shot at the funeral.
So you wasn't there. You just had to hear it from you got told. So they told you this before you
Man,
got back.
I'm gonna tell you. No, I was here. I was home, and it's crazy because when he left that morning, I had my little cousins, and I was getting ready to take them out, and it didn't click. But the news on, and they was like, yeah, a big shooting at the church. I'm like, damn, man, this shit crazy as hell. Got the call that my brother got shot as I'm walking out the door. Still didn't put two and two together. And on my way to the hospital, I got the second call that was like, you need to get here. I knew at that point my brother had died because they didn't say what happened. They was kind of like, you need to get here now. But it was a wild, it was a wild day, man. Wild day.
Um, yeah, man. Like I said, I talk to Big Mike a lot, and there was always something going on. He do a lot of security he do security around Atlanta, but he does it at a lot of not a lot. He does it at a few what they call them, recorder studios, and I'm
Right.
talking to him at night, man. He telling me all the stuff that's going on, popping off, stuff that the news don't report, this and this. I'm just like, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like it's I'm from Detroit, so we got our own little situations up here and all that. But I guess hearing
Right.
it from them, so somebody else, it's like, man, y'all, it's a little different. But to
Oh yeah.
to have a situation at a funeral, like it's, I don't think they respect the grounds like that no more. Like like you said, Hawaiians, I
Nah.
don't think it's no love out there no more, man. Like they
Nah,
don't
dog.
respect for putting resting the dead, putting away. They gonna roll up and do what they gonna do, regardless of who there. And that's unfortunate, man. That's real unfortunate. So how was that, man? Like just talking, being with moms and getting through that. Like how did that shape how you are now and what you do now?
In the beginning, my mom really wasn't strong enough to like do a lot of the funeral arrangements and shit. So that was another pivotal moment, having to deal with post traumatic stress from being in combat and then coming back, having to find the discipline and I guess the mental fortitude to actually plan my brother's funeral and bury my brother like that. That shit you hear about on TV, dog. So to have lived that moment, it was real surreal, especially waking up the next day. Like that shit clicked in, like, yo, my brother ain't coming back. And just kind of navigating it, everybody going through therapy, because, I had my little brother too. So it's like everybody's trying to figure out their lane and their mental stability. But we grew up in a house, we weren't allowed to have guns, you know what I'm saying? And I remember right before the funeral, I caught my brother with a gun, and I was like, "Yo, what you doing with that? Like, you already on probation." And he was like, "I'd rather get caught with it than without it." And looking at the situation now to how it played out, I was just like, "Hey, man, I'm not mad at the decision that was made." But going forward, now we're being proactive, and we're talking about gun ownership and how we better need to protect ourselves because we just went through a traumatic experience dealing with firearms. Even at the funeral, man, it was a lot of armed police officers. Like, bro, it was a high profile case, and there was a lot of guns around. So some people with us ended up going to jail at the wake because one of my aunts saw guns, and they was like, "Well, they got guns." My auntie, we all got guns. It's just the person she told on wasn't supposed to have it. So there was people going to jail during the funeral time too, and that's when my family started to kind of come around. Like, it's gonna be guns around. Like, whether you want to accept that or not, we gonna have guns because we are going to defend ourselves at all costs.
Well, it's funny, because I guess you said you came home with some post traumatic syndrome. So you came home with like you had some situations over there where you got with PTSD. I know a lot of military guys that come home, they got they got that or they deal with that on an everyday occurrence. And I had an interview with a guy, Travis, I think his name was, and he was like, man, some of the youngins they don't even have to go to Iraq or go over there to the war because they can get PTSD. Some of these kids got PTSD now for just being around that type of atmosphere,
Yeah,
that environment. Like they don't have to go over there and get war because they walk outside and it's like that. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
war. They don't know if they go kick it with their homeboy today, he gonna be there tomorrow. And I lost some good friends like that. Literally, like I was with them today. I was with them yesterday and they gone today. And we talking about with them 5 hours ago and they gone. You know what I'm saying? So like
Mhm.
it could have been me too. You know what I'm saying? I could have been in that situation or there at that time. But it was one of those situations. Oh, the street lights come on. Mama gonna tear that butt up if I ain't
Yep.
home. Come to find out, homeboy get dropped 2 or 3 hours after I left him. So I could have been right there with him. So
Yeah.
people, you don't really realize how much, especially in the urban neighborhoods in the hood, you don't realize how much that PTSD or stuff you see that kind of shape you and still, to this day, kind of, stay with you. So, and so when you had your little brother how old was he? Was he trying to get? How old was your little brother? How far
I
apart are
think
y'all?
I think my youngest brother at the time, man, I want to say I think he was 14 at the time.
Oh, so he
Yeah.
was right at that age.
Yeah, he was 14 and I was 23. Yeah. And my
Okay.
brother that got killed, he was 19. He died 9 days before his 20th birthday. Yep.
Dang. Over here dropping stuff. What so how did you keep your little brother like was he scared? What what I'm saying? What was that like? Cuz now you got to be like, what I'm saying, big brother, big brother. Because sometimes the little brother like to talk to the middle brother to talk to the big
Yeah.
brother. You know what I'm saying?
That and
So,
that, bro, that's exactly how it was. Like they were close.
right.
Like they were like super close, man. So it definitely rocked him because he lost, his big brother. My little brother, his big brother. So it was just he was, what I'm saying, he stayed active in a lot of sports and stuff like that, but he went through his own shit. Like he went through his own shit. And that's the best way to like, without going on his story, because I mean he doing good now. Like I just
So he
got a
was a
phone
little
with him
trouble.
before
So
he got on it.
he was a troublemaker. Let's just say he got in
Nah,
some stuff.
nah, I ain't even gonna say he got in some stuff, but his one situation that he was in put him on a whole nother trajectory that he had to go around instead of going in a straight line. He had to go around to get back on track. But he wasn't no trouble. He wasn't no trouble starter. Just he made a very bad decision, and you know what I'm saying. He had to pay for it. Like,
What your
bro, he
boy
was on the
say? Jay
news.
Prince say you wake up with a chance and a choice, bro. So you got to figure
Hey,
out and make it every day. You
he
wake up with a
he
chance and a choice.
he took the chance and made the choice that day, dog. And
He
what's
took the
crazy, it was
chance
on
and
April
made the
Fool's
choice.
too. So it was like it was some shit you wouldn't believe on April Fool's Day.
Hey man.
So you making the call like, yeah, hey, such and such, man, I don't believe that. Turn on the TV. You ain't got to believe me. Turn on your TV.
Hey, but he got Big Brother there, man, to help. You steer him in the right direction, and you'll be a
Oh
positive
yeah.
influence. So get into this. How did Mom take it? Because you said at one point, because and like I said, we were talking off air a little bit about in a tragedy like that, you see that people come out, well, gun violence and all this, and stop the guns, put the guns up. I mean, yeah, put the guns up, but it don't
Yeah.
it don't be. I guess your mom took another approach to it and about gun violence and that, and so let's talk about that because I thought that was like unique that you even came up with that.
So it was after the funeral, like trying to make light of such a heavy situation. A lot of my I ain't gonna say mine because it was all of us. All our homeboys would come around and check on my mama because a lot of them were there at the day this shit happened. And after the funeral, actually at the funeral, they seat the family and all that stuff. My mom and grandma got divided because there were so many of our friends trying to protect mom. So later on, when we got to talking about it, I was telling her like all them guys had guns. Like there were more guns around you than the police. Like that's just what it was because of everything that the people we knew and everything that we was into outside of the house. So as time went on, it was just like now we got to get guns. Like man, these in time everybody gonna stop coming around. That's just how it go. They come and check on you right after it happened because everything fresh. And I'm like, hey, as they stop coming around, man, we got to get you a gun. We got to get proactive with this because they not gonna be there. If we call them, yeah, they're gonna pull up, but we basically got to start making sure we good now, just because of the direction that society was headed in at the time. And she was on board. Like I went and I took her to Adventure Outdoors out here. I bought my mama her first gun. Like, yo, we gonna do this. I'm not taking no for an answer because we had to grow up without guns. And ain't no reason we shouldn't have them now. Like, there's just no reason we shouldn't have them. So, and we started doing range days on Sunday. Some families go to church. Bro, we were going to the gun range on Sunday. That was our thing.
Why
Every
was it
Sunday
no?
we loaded up.
Why was it no guns in the house? Kind of law.
Man,
Mama flag law. No
I
guns in the
never
house.
asked that, and that actually stemmed from my grandma. And my grandmama, I think, you know what I'm saying, because my grandma had a gun in the house growing up, and we found it. And when we found it, they kind of like took it, and that was the end of that. They didn't want us having guns. We couldn't point guns at each other. So I don't know. I never asked. I just knew that was the law growing up. Like we just could not have guns in the house, man, for whatever reason. And that time we changed that.
Probably being a black guy, black dude in the inner city, they knew if somebody caught you with something, it was gonna be something bad, good,
Yeah,
or what I'm
yeah.
saying. So
Yep.
it's kind of one of those. Yeah, we're not even gonna take that chance to have it and get out and somebody see you with it or something, and it turned to something else. So
Yeah,
yeah, I can understand. I mean, I get it. But now you said on Sundays y'all went to you and moms and then was going to the gun range. So how was that?
bro. We had the whole family every Sunday, man. It was cool. Um, And even when we talk about a training, like I understood why so many people didn't go to training because you feel like you don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel like your experience, you got military training, you ain't need it, but that was our family thing. Every Sunday we going to the gun range, bro. We load up all the guns. We going down to the gun range, and that was our thing. Cause I had cousins and stuff that would come, like, oh, y'all going to the range? Yes. So we're going every Sunday. You either coming or you ain't. It don't even matter to me. So it was dope. Just starting to go and get in the guns as a family unit, and just seeing different people like us at the gun range at the time. So it was dope, man.
So is that how? So tell me, is that how the Double Tap Coalition came about?
Nah, remember you asked me about stuff I don't want to talk about. I
Okay.
like
First
talking
of
about
all,
it,
I
but
said, listen. I gave you a disclaimer. I said, listen.
nah, you good. Nah, I'm being funny, man. You good, bro? Nah,
Okay.
I was finna say, yeah, this one of the things I don't want to talk about, but I am. Nah, you good. So we kind of jump in the timeline a little bit, but down in 2020, right around the pandemic, I started selling ammo because nobody could get ammo. So I was selling ammo. I was like, bro, I have to send you a picture. There's a picture. I got a bowl on a counter with a vacuum seal bag and a scale. And I think I had some 55 grain 5.56. Like, it got to the point I had bulk boxes weighing stuff up, putting it in the vacuum seal bag. Like, I took drug dealing and selling ammunition and crossbred that shit.
Did you?
And
And I want to say, it, that might have been a. I ain't gonna say that's the first video. Did you post it on Instagram?
yeah, there's a picture of that on Instagram.
Okay, so I seen somebody do that back during COVID. It's what's crazy about COVID? It's almost like I forgot that even happened. I know it happened,
Right.
but it's kind of like you said COVID. It's like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole 2 or 3 years of COVID is kind of like I don't even talk about it, man. It's just it was so bad. But yeah, so in my little notes and questions, I just got to rolling. Cause I said that I seen, one of my questions was, how did you get your hands on ammo when nobody else could?
um, the gun range
That's
that I
another
train
thing
at.
I don't want to talk about.
Nah, it's cool, bro. The gun range I trained at the time, they were only military and police. So when everything dried up, regular people couldn't go in there and buy ammo. They was trying to make their sales. So I could go in there with people. So I would take 2 or 3 people and go rack up because they started putting a limit on it. It was like 5 box limit. Cool. I was buying so much ammo, I was getting the dirty boxes with the cobwebs off the floor. Like, yeah, let me get all 5 of them. And they like, man, this black dude buying all this ammo. I think in 2 or 3 months, I was doing like 50,000 in ammo sales out the store. So I would go in the store, buy the ammo, break it down, and I'm in the neighborhood like the damn ice cream man, bro. I'm pulling up.
So did they know you? Did they know you did this? So because I guess well, we gonna air this. This is going on YouTube and this is going on all social media
Oh man, you good?
platforms.
Put it
Okay,
out. Go ahead, put
okay.
it out.
Hey,
There's
he said
pictures
wrap
up.
it in plastic and put it in traffic. Young
Man, dog.
Jeezy, wrap it in plastic and put it in traffic. I was
That's
in the
how.
hood.
That's
Whip, 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 whip.
bro. Hey man, shout out to my boy Joker, man, because I would pull up in the hood and people would be like, man, you pulling up in the hood with ammo? Yes, they love me. I'm like the Lord of War over there, bro. They love me. Like, it is what it is. Some people ain't
So
gonna touch me. I'm pulling up.
so let me ask you: did you take that opportunity to educate us on certain
Ah,
things
yes.
because
See,
you in the hood, like it's when you go to the hood, man, it's a different dynamic. You got to go with some, so they kind of like respect and like, okay, he got this and he can listen, opposed to just going there and trying to tell him all this and trying to tell him that. Because sometimes it don't work. It's certain strategies you got to when you go to the hood, you got to work a certain strategy to get them to listen to what you're doing. So and I know how that is. So when you pulled up in the hood with the ammo, what did you take that opportunity to educate the youngest about what's going on?
I didn't have a choice because I was asking certain questions like what grain you need, what type you need, and they was like, "What?" So I started educating them on the types of ammunition, the grains, the purpose, the points, what they do, and that's how the training aspect came in. Because they was like, "Yo, you know a lot," and I'm like, "Y'all making me learn this." Because the questions I'm asking y'all and the questions y'all asking me, like, I'm going to do my homework on it because I don't want to just be selling y'all everything, anything, because that's what they're doing in the store. So that's how we started bridging the gap in the hood with the guys because they was asking me questions, and I'm like, "Yo, y'all spending money with me. y'all my customers. I feel like I owe y'all that due diligence to at least give y'all the right information on what I'm selling y'all and what y'all want to buy. So that was dope, man. That was real dope for me.
I know I work at a gun store like part time, and it's like real part time. I'm in there, and then when I go in there and then people ask me questions, it's usually us. I try to take that opportunity to educate them on certain types of things that they may or may not know, and it's usually like ammo or something like that. And I say, well, you don't want to use a ball. A bullet is a bullet. I mean, people probably listen to this and hear this and be like, "Yeah, no, you can argue." But if you can only afford a ball ammo, some ball ammo, it is what it is, right?
Right.
Protect yourself. But I take the opportunity to say, look, we got hollow points over here. You want to use the ball ammo for training purposes, this, and this. So they was like, well, what's the difference between this bullet and that bullet? I was like, well, you ball ammo is usually over penetrate this, and this. And so I was like, they be like, what you mean? I was like, then you got to put in kind of context. You got to give them like a situation, like, hey, you remember when little Pookie got hit? And his cousin got hit because she was standing behind him or this, and this. And they be like, yeah, I remember that. They were probably using ball. You know what I'm saying? Then they be like,
Yep.
oh, like they don't believe you when you showing them or you telling them. You got to put a story behind it, and then they
Yeah.
pick it up, and then they be like, oh, I
Like you said,
remember that, man. I
you gotta
remember
have the
that.
right
Pook.
tactic when you're talking to them.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. When they talk about this or whatever, you gotta put it almost in a rap. Like, remember we're talking about the FN with the stick and this. Oh yeah, he probably would had this on
Yeah,
there. Oh okay. Don't you know what I'm saying? So it's it's funny talking to our people, man. But I like that idea. You know what I'm saying? Using hood with and the baggies. So you break. So you
man,
took the
bro,
brick,
I had
broke
to
it down,
broke it
use.
down, dog. I'm out there with it, man. And there's a dude who I was cool with on Facebook, and he hit me one day, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I linked up with this guy, and they finna get me FFL, and I want to work with you on some shit." And I got blindsided because I didn't peep the move, but brother knew I had a clientele. He knew I had a very large clientele too. So he wanted to go on business with me, and I'm like, look, man, I'm actually trying to merge over here and start doing training. Selling ammo is getting me the money to go start another business, and I know the store is gonna be open soon, so I'm gonna need something else. So I was telling him I wanted to do training, and he had a business name, and he was like, I want to do a gun club too. So I was like, man, we could do that, and that's how Double Tap came in. I started Double Tap as a gun club, but once I realized that dude didn't want to do no work, he wanted me to do the work because I had the clientele. That relationship it went south very very fast. Um, and once we got certified, I took training serious. I need my people to like really really be on their shit. And to date, if you went and looked at some of his the work he doing, man, it's like, hey man, you don't have no pride in your work, bro. Like you don't really do this for real, for real. So Double Tap was born because of a failed business venture, for real.
Well, I'm getting tripped up because it's kind of like one of them situations where it's kind of like we real critical on our people because we are seen a certain way in that industry because it's not a lot of us. So to get the respect, we can't all be doing clown shit or doing bad stuff because it kind of like it's like one of them situations where just because a person is doing clown shit, they may look at the whole group or the whole group of people say they all gonna be on some clown stuff. So it's kind
Right.
of like what I'm saying. I'm glad that you take your craft, like you think about it like that, and you take it all personal and you take it all to heart. Like, look, I need to educate my people. I need to get educated just because I came from the military and I had some experience doesn't mean I'm not open to learn more stuff. And I know that because you said you up there either training at Katie's property, training people, or you taking some of Katie's classes. And I know just talking to Katie and knowing Katie how how informational he can be. He gonna give you everything you need from not. It's not even. And I haven't taken a class with Katie, but I know he's talking more to the person than he is about the firearm. Is that if that makes sense? Like he's
Yeah.
training you as a person to understand how to use the firearm. So
Yeah.
the gun is one
Definitely.
thing, but the human element is really drives the the performance of that firearm, right? If I can train
Yep.
you to be a better person and to think a certain way, I know you can run that platform at the best of your ability. And I said I never took a KD class, but just listen to him talking, how he talking. I talked to him, we joking kid, because his name Kevin, my name Kevin. He mad 'cause I took all the chicks in school because I'm light skinned, he was dark skinned, he ain't getting no love. You know what I'm saying? I hope he hear that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tag him in that little post. You know what I'm saying? So tell him, have he said that he just mad at me because we was light skinned. I got all the chicks, and he didn't. I get it in St. Louis, but yeah, man, like, and that was one thing when you see us on Instagram and and people attack. It's funny, you see people do stupid stuff on Instagram, and you look in the comments, they just get attacked, heavy attack, and then
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
they can kind of backpedal out of it, but sometimes they can't. And I'm just like, man, sometimes you just leave some of that shit to off air. Don't show your whole hand or stuff on Instagram that you ain't 100% confident with. But that was like sidebar. Sorry about that.
Oh no. That's right though. You right for sure.
So double tap coalition came about because of a failed a business venture with a dude, and
Yep.
then because after that, then your mama came on board, and like it was like more of a family thing then, right?
Yeah. The range I train at, man. Shout out to Amchar too for just bringing me in. But I was going in there, like I said, spending money, and I asked them could I train in there. And in the beginning, they was like no. But then they needed somebody, so they would bring me in kind of like on some backdoor stuff to handle small clients. One day, the owner came in from New York. I'm headed to work. They like, yo, we need you to come in. The owner want to holler at you. I be like, I'll be there tomorrow. They like, nah, he leave tomorrow. Part of the meeting, they asked me did I have a female trainer, and at the time, my homegirl was doing it, but she had her own thing going too, and I told them yeah, and having to fulfill their obligation, I'm like, yo, I came home like, hey, ma, we finna get you some training. You finna be a firearms instructor. So it was more so, you ain't really got an option now, mama, because I need you with me to do this. And, man, my mama was like, okay. And we've been rocking and rolling, dog. But I had to fulfill my obligation to them folks.
Oh, I hear you. Now having a woman, instructor is always cool, man. Because like sometimes women don't like taking instruction from the man. It's better coming from them. They feel a little bit more comfortable asking them questions and learning. So that probably was definitely a plus. How was it telling your mama out there training with your mama, getting her some instructions and trying to get her sorted out? was she was she listening to you, or she was like, "Hey, boy,
I
I brought you in
I
this
you
world. I can take you out, and I can definitely take you out quicker now."
that post that was going around, they'd be like, it's hard trying to raise your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. It's hard trying to raise your parents, dog. I was talking to KD the other day. I was like, "Hey, man, we got to get my mama some more training. Like, it's time for her to elevate." He was like, "Yeah, let's do it." I'm like, "I can't do it. That's my mama, but how you gonna talk to your mama? You know what I'm saying? Hey, mom, you ain't doing that right." And then she give you that look, and it's like, you know what? Just forget about it. I'm gonna go do something
Well,
else.
it's kind of like with me taking my wife out or my mom. It's like I know I ain't doing this right. Da da da. I was like, listen, we here, you shooting. Let's just start there. Like
Yeah,
we
let's
not
start
about to
there.
get into this, that, and the third and all that. Hey, you here shooting? You understand? You get it. You know you need to have it, and we gonna just start there, build from there. So,
Yep.
that is what it is. Believe me, I understand that. So, how many classes have you taken with KD?
Man, I think I'm at like four. I might be at like three or four classes with KD right now.
Okay. Okay. Cause I know
I just met KD last year.
that's what's up. That's cool. And I know I had asked you this when you know what, well, and I'm assuming because you prior military, that's why you said the AR-15 is your favorite platform to train on. And is that why you said that?
Kinda, yeah. It had something to do because when I was overseas, we did gun trucks and stuff like that. So the heavy machine gunnery is just where my expertise was. I
What
ain't know
was you
shit about
on?
no handgun.
What was
The 240 Bravo.
240 Bravo? What's the
Yeah.
craziest shit you seen over there when you was over there? I know we backtrack, but I just popped in my head.
Mm,
That you can
a little
that you
boy.
can say that you didn't sign an NDA or they, you know what I'm saying, all that. stuff
A
like you
little boy
can't
get
talk about?
ran over by a semi.
Oh man, really? Did
Yes.
they stop and get out? Ooh,
With
okay.
the SOP at the time was to keep going because the grown men would sit up in the hills and watch us come through, and they would send the kids down and kind of like snatch the fuel cans off our trailers or whatever. And we started locking them down. We chained them all up, and I'm guessing the little boy went to go grab it and he got caught. And yeah, yeah, like his it was bad. I don't want to give the graphic details on here, but
Oh
it
no,
was bad,
I don't want
dog.
to either
It
because
was bad.
I don't want
It's
YouTube to smack us on the hands and say we messed
yeah,
up or
yeah.
whatever, whatever.
It's one of those things that that was something that you just don't forget, bro. It's just and you close your eyes and you see it like it just happened yesterday.
So
So it was
did y'all get into some real thunder and lightning? What I mean, chitty chitty bang bang over there?
mm, a little bit, not as much as some of these other vets, like that you hear story. We got into it, just not like they did because we was rolling, man. So a lot of stuff that we got blown up a lot. That was
He
our
said,
thing. They was trying to flip shit over, man.
mm, mm,
Yeah, so it was a lot of IDs and vehicle car bombs and shit with us.
mm, okay, okay. So
Fun times.
what's your favorite What's your mama's favorite platform to shoot? What she like to shoot?
Handguns right now. Like I mean, she can shoot everything, but primarily she like her Canon.
She like that cannon. You said you like that
Yeah,
cannon
she
and
like that Canon.
and you
I told, and then Walter.
that Walter. That which one you
Yeah,
like?
man. The PDP, like the PDP Pro right now. That's my guy. Like that's my guy, man.
I was gonna be a Walter guy first, and then I wasn't. I didn't. I think it was like the PDP Q or whatever that Q series that
Yeah,
came out,
the Q.
and
Yeah, I ain't
I
really
was
like that.
all on it. And then I started training with my homeboy from Jeff from DMI Performance, and he was a M&P guy. And then after that, it was all downhill, man.
Dang.
Shout out to them, man. Shout out to Floyd Custom Works, man. Hooking up my one of my M&Ps now. Hopefully, I get it back and I can show everybody, man. Show everybody. So, how long you been in the game?
Professionally 5 years. This be my fifth year this year.
So you've been in the game professionally 5 years, and you wrote a book.
Yep,
So what?
sure
Why
did.
did you write this book? And tell us, like, what did you see the lack of that you wrote the book? Because I've been in the game a little longer than you, and I know it's been like 2 books out, and it's kind of like I don't, do you remember Tig?
Yeah,
Tig, she wrote
yeah,
a
I remember
book.
Tig.
Tig wrote a book, and then the EDC guy, Ron Scipio, the author of Erica's Big Day, wrote a book too, or not necessarily like a I don't know a pamphlet or type something, but not necessarily like a book like you wrote. So why did you write the book? And this is like a 2-part question because like everybody don't want people got ideas to write books or ideas to do stuff like that and then actually put it into creation. Like you go from reading it, writing it to running it. Like my sister say, like you actually thought about the idea, wrote the stuff down, and actually put it together, created it, and now you have a book. So talk about that process. Because and everybody can't just do that. Say I'm an author, technically.
um, it came from me teaching, and the idea was from my lack of what I was not giving to my students, man. Because at the end of every class, I always ask for feedback. One of the biggest requests on feedback I got was they wanted take home material. They wanted stuff that they can take with them to help them cover everything we went over in class and like some of the dry fire drills and stuff we were telling them. They just wanted something to take with them home. And I'm like, look, man, I'm a small business. So that was cost efficient to start having printouts. And I'm like, there got to be a better way. So we done tried the links and everything. And finally one day I was like, yo, what if I had a book and I put the cost of the book in my class? So when you come to a class, you get this book. But then if your neighbor want it but don't want to take a class, your neighbor could buy a book. I'm like, let's do it. So as time went on, I'm making my notes and I'm going through my training curriculums. Like, let's turn this into a book that you can take home. But if I'm teaching the class, I can put this book in your hand like a textbook, and from A to Z, we'll cover all the things in class with this book, and you can mark it up and take it with you. So I got to work on it, and it was crazy because I didn't tell nobody. Like some people take ideas and tell their people and talk to their people, Bro, I didn't tell nobody till the book got published on Amazon.
That's because black people's superstitious. You like, don't split that pole. Don't tell nobody about your ideas because somebody else gonna do it. Don't do this. Don't leave the door
Yeah.
open. You're gonna run up my light bill.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Black
So
people is the
yeah,
most superstitious people in the world. But I
I
get it.
mean
Don't
it's in
show
our
your idea.
DNA.
Because, somebody going to talk bad about it because they ain't doing it or want to do it, can't do it, so they going to talk bad about it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Bro, but
few.
if nobody talking about you, you ain't doing nothing. I don't care what they say. If nobody got your name in their mouth, you ain't doing nothing. Keep going.
Well, yeah. So when you said, so were you a CPL instructor first and then you start teaching like tactical, advanced training, or did you just go straight to advanced training?
So in Georgia, you don't need training to get your weapons carry license and no shit.
Yeah. Right.
So I just kind of like gradually got into it, taking some of
Okay.
the classes, and because everybody want to be a gun owner, and then you got people who want to go a step further. So that was just something I progressively started stepping into.
You know what it's too it's like, so it's funny that you said that, they're like the students, so basically the students created the book for you or gave the idea,
Yeah.
because it's like you students leave and you want to give them, you think about the stuff that you forgot to give them or didn't give them, and they're gonna need more, and it's good to have students that's seeking more information, that want, because like you get them in a class, one, it's the 8 hour class. I don't know how long your classes are or whatever. It's only so much information they can retain. So you give them
Yes.
100%, they may only get in 5% of it or keep them 5%. But excuse me, but like you said, if you can give them a book or some notes, and you being a small company at first starting out, that they can take home and study and come back, you know what I'm saying? Then you see better advancements with that. Cause I got a homeboy that do like 2 day classes, and he said he see the progress in his students on a 2 day class opposed to like the 1 day class, because he have a class on Saturday, handgun one, and they had was, let's just say, handgun one on Saturday, and they had handgun two on Sunday, and he can see the improvement on day 2 because it's still fresh in their head. They didn't forget
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to, well, I went to a class in May, handgun one. I didn't take the handgun two until July. And it's kind of like you lose, you know what I'm saying? Some people could lose a lot of information because they're not
They
going
do.
home. They're not going home
Yeah.
dry firing or training or doing like that. They just
No.
waiting on that class.
Nah, man. And I take pride in it because a lot of students I see, even if I don't see them in another class, I see them at the range. Like I walk out of a class and then they like, yo, what's up? Because they starting to go to the range more and put it into practice. So I'm reluctant enough to actually still be in the community with a lot of people I teach. And they'll see me out there, man. I'm like, yo, even if you didn't come back, holla at me. So they do come back and ask questions. So I built that book based off feedback. That's what has kept me in business for 5 years, listening
And
to what my students want.
so around that pandemic, so were you training during the pandemic time too?
I started toward the end of the pandemic. Yeah,
So I know you was popping because Big Mike was like, man, he was
yeah,
turning people down left and right because everybody was scared and trying to get, trying to get trained or trying to get a fire. Well, in Atlanta, you can just go, knock on somebody's door, hey, I need
yeah.
a firearm or whatever. Don't have to go through the same procedures and stuff that the people in, we do here in Michigan. So your
Right,
name you must have been hot in the city, people trying to get
man.
in
I
with
I
you.
was building. I was building, man. We was up there. Like I think my first class was like 20 people. So we was building,
Ooh.
man.
Oh, you
Yeah,
you missed you missed the double tap coalition himself. Talk about it.
man,
Tell the
man,
world.
man. Marketing. I thought I used to be a rapper, man. I took everything I learned in rap and applied it to what I do in firearms, and it worked.
Okay, so go tell me the crossroads where that meet. One, first of all, you know, I guess you can spit it and tell the people what they want to hear, so they like the gift of gab is one of your things. So what else cross marketing did you do with that? Like, because you know what I'm saying, the rap game into the hustle game, you know.
Man, basically what I took from that was out here in Atlanta, everybody rap. And it's like, why should we choose you? And that was what I had to do in music. I had to figure out, why should Heavy go play my mixtape? Like, why? What about me is unique and is gonna stand out to Heavy so to make him go play my music? And the firearms, it was like, if they got all these other experienced firearm trainers, why should we go to you? Why should we spend our money with you? Like, what you gonna give us that somebody else don't? And I took that and I started doing like a lot of experimental classes, certain programs I tried, and the name, colors, some of the stuff I did with my marketing, it just worked. Because in music, you got to work harder. And in firearms, I feel like I didn't have to work as hard because I'm just giving you value. And then after that, the word of mouth kind of like took over, and I started letting people talk for me and letting people tell other people why they should come train with us. And that shit worked like night and day, man.
I
Night
think
and day.
that's like the best one. The best marketing tool is the next person, right? The
Yeah.
next person that left your class, that can go talk to 3 or 4 people. So if you got 10 or 15 people that's loving your class, they talk to 3 people. You know what I'm saying? Each person, you got 30, 40 people hitting you up trying to get in your class. So I guess
Oh, the
that's
free
just
classes too. Man, I was doing basic firearm safety, basically teaching people how to pick up a gun, like just essential stuff that me and you feel like people should know. Everybody I was in an instructor class with didn't understand it. They were like, "Why you doing free classes?" And I'll never forget. I had a free class one time, and they had a lady sending
you
her
said
homegirl
FRE pre class or free class.
free, free FREE,
Oh,
like just
you
free.
might have had 100 people there then.
Man, believe it or not, in my early days, it was a couple. They started dying off. It wasn't many, but it was enough because I was like doing it. And I had one class I did at a hotel. It was a shady situation too, but I packed it out. And this one lady ended up spending like a $3,000 ticket with me to get all of her people trained. And I just kept doing free classes, man. And because I did that, people saw the value in it, and they turned around and spent money with me. It was like I'm giving you something for free to ask you for money. So come get this free education, but I'm gonna ask you for money at the end of class. And
Well,
it worked.
I think I think and it's I'm gonna say the class, but I know some instructors, and it's good that you do a free class because I think it should be a class before you take a class. Like you take a training class because
Right.
when people take training classes or they before they go, if I know them, I say these are a couple things you need to work on before you go to class. So you can listen and absorb everything else, but let me show you some stuff. So I tell people or help my guys that take a class, and I say, man, go take the class with this person, go take a class with that guy. But before you do that, let's me and you go work for free. You know what I'm saying? Because they my guys. Let's go work for free. Let's go train. Let me go show you some stuff. So when you go to the class, they be like, "Oh, you trained before?" And they probably be like, "No." But you more of an asset in that class. You can absorb more opposed to just
Yeah.
starting out learning and can't absorb everything. Like you'll be ahead of everybody else in there. And that's cool that you do that. You gave a free class. You gave them some game to teach them what they're going to get in your classes. And that probably was a great marketing tool because you got 100 people in there for free. You probably can get 5% of somebody to sign up for you in the class.
You can get more than 5% if you do it right. But yeah, yeah, it worked, and it
So
still works currently, man.
so so talk about the book. So what's all in the book?
Um,
Show
so
the
when I
book,
wrote
man.
the
I
book,
gotta
man,
see the
yeah,
book.
yeah,
Show the
yeah,
book.
definitely, definitely, definitely. So when
Hold
I
on,
wrote
hold
the
on, hold
book,
on, hold on.
I
Let me see. Go ahead there. I got a better. It's a little glare on it, but you gonna send me the real. No, you gonna send me
yeah,
a real
yeah,
picture of it so I can
yeah.
post it up with
I'm
the thing.
definitely get you hooked up, man. But basically in the book, so we talk about whew, man, I'm gonna open it up. I'm just gonna give you the chapters. So we got the introduction, we got firearm safety, conflict avoidance, because a lot of instructors out here don't talk about de-escalation and conflict avoidance. I don't know why, but the biggest thing we could do is walk away sometimes. You got a gun, you got the power, walk away. Be a punk, I don't care, but types of firearms, we talk about maintenance, ammunition selection, the types of malfunctions, shooter techniques, drills, glossary of terms, and the last one in that was trauma kits. And then there's a bunch of resources in the back of the book. So
You
it's
know,
basically all beginner stuff from A to Z.
and some of that's and you can kind of see that like even with USCCA they give you all that curriculum that you can teach. And I probably just did a little soft plug for them, but you got these you got the companies that it's good that you put in the book because they can buy the book and they can learn and stuff, read up on it, and then come to your class and ask you questions about it. And then do
Right,
their own
right.
research. You know what I'm saying? They can YouTube whatever and see this and then come to your class and ask you about it. In the class and say, look, and that's how they read your book or got your book, and that's some good feedback. The trauma in like the first part of the book about conflict resolution or de-escalation, that's monumental because it's so easy to, like, you got a firearm, you can do the most, like, if that person don't know you got a firearm and you get into something, you can do the most damage to that person. So the ability to
Yeah.
walk away from a situation and be like, all right, you got it, bro, keep it moving, because I know what I can do to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to go down that path, because once you're down that path and something happens, and Lowerfield, you got to defend yourself. Then you talk about going to court. It's good to have, and you talk about it part of your class, like a good insurance company that can
Yep.
that back you up in times of situation like that can come to your aid and tell you what to do and what you say, because people can get real caught, they can get jammed up because they say the wrong things, or do the wrong things. Now you jammed up or something that didn't have to go that way. So
Facts.
that's definitely conflict resolution, and then having resources in the back of the book, um, and then trauma, because I try to tell people, first classes, when you take classes, you should take like a handgun 1, 2, then take that like a low light class, but within that low light, that the whole training schedule, you got to take a stop the bleed class. That should be like a handgun 1, stop the bleed, low light handgun, and then you can go do whatever. But that
Yep.
trauma and that stop the bleed class, you got to take that. Like that's a
You got
must,
to. You got to take it, man.
because it's so much information. I need to take. I took a little sparingly here and there. I need to take a full class. I need to get into a full class, so I got to look that up. Um, so how many books did you get printed out, man?
So on Amazon, they do the printing for me, but I typically order 30 to 50 every, I don't know, every month or so because I'm always moving them. So that's why I did it through Amazon, man, because it's so easy to just go in there and have them printed out and send it to me.
So
And then if
what?
I'm out, I tell people you can get it on Amazon in like 1 or 2 days.
So what? How has that been with Amazon? Because I know we were looking into it, but we didn't really go that route with the Amazon book.
It's easy. Publishing through Amazon, man, it take a lot of the hard work off of you. They print the book. All I had to do was do my PDF, get it uploaded in the right format. Man, Amazon handle everything. They
So
they can go buy it, and then you can order copies at a very very different cost, and then sell them on your own, and then they package it and send it to
right. So do they hold any rights to your books after they once they sold or go through because they Amazon published them?
you. I think you still retain the rights because they published the book, but they just get their cut. They want their cut out of it though.
Yeah. So we got our book is still out. We created it. It's called Erica's Big Day.
Oh
Ron
yeah,
Scipio is the author. I'm the creative designer of it. We still, like I said, I got some of these. I've been trying to get them into some. One, I'm trying to get into a couple grocery stores in the hood, and it's a bookstore, a neighborhood bookstore that's supposed to be open, black owned. I'm gonna go talk to and trying to get them in there, and get the Erica's Big Day book. So when I seen y'all book, I was like, man, it'd be cool to get these books together. Like you get one and then you can get the other. Like a little package
yeah,
deal. You get the beginner
definitely,
guide, man, and then you get the Erica's Big Day part of the book. So let me ask you this:
yeah.
what was your rap name?
Peter Max,
Peter Max?
yeah, Peter Max.
That don't sound like no Atlanta rap name.
It ain't supposed to be.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be, man. Nah,
uh, hey, so let me ask you this: if you could train any hip hop artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
man, none of them,
Dead or
none of
alive
them.
rappers? You wouldn't train
I
none
wasn't
of them?
trying. No, I'm not really
Nah.
big on celebrities, bro. And like the celebrities I have met and had dinners with, they were pretty cool. But for the most part, man, there's too many egos in the way. It is
Mm.
too many egos in the way, bro. So I don't really have one that I'll be like, yeah, I want to train them because I'm from here. I know a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm good. I'm good, man.
Well, I know, like I said, Big Mike, he had trained a lot of them, or
Yeah,
he trained some big
a
name
good
ones.
bit.
A
He
good
trained
bit
a
of he
good
trained
bit of them. Yeah,
he trained
yeah.
a good bit of them, and he like, man, they cool people. I know one particular person group he trained almost. the father, the daughter, the sons, are like he went through the whole family.
Yeah.
But you know, being in Atlanta, I just know you probably come across them. They know your name. They see you training. They like well, can we come train with you? Because it's a lot, like you said, it's a lot of them down there. So I was
Oh
just
yeah.
curious, if you had an opportunity to train one, or would you train one? Which one would it be? But shit,
I don't really.
that
As
wasn't
long
even
as
a
the
good
money
question because
good,
you
bro.
didn't
We'll.
you didn't answer none of the ones. That supposed to been like, yeah, I want to train Biggie Smalls or something.
No,
Something.
no,
Nah,
I'm good. Nah.
you said.
They regular people for me, bro. Like, as long as the money good and the attitude right, I'm gonna work with you. But just to go pick one, nah, I'm good.
All right, so let me ask you this: what's one of the myths? What's one of what's one of the myths about black gun ownership that pisses you off? And how do you think we can break that stereotype? In your everyday work.
I I don't really I don't really know any myths. Like I don't have any on the top of my head. But one thing about black people that I want to change more is our ignorance of gun laws. Like
Mm.
when some of us see a suppressor, a dude just asked yesterday in the class, we can own those. He got it on his rifle, dog. Yeah, we can own it. So I think when it comes to guns, man, we're still ignorant on a lot of gun laws and things that we can actually own. So that if I had to pick one, that's something I wish, what I'm saying, we could work better at changing, man. Just the fact that we can do a lot more in the gun community than we think we can.
Well, and that's true. I think I had a plate carrier on, and I don't know where I was riding my bike or doing something. I don't know what it was, and I guess somebody seen me with it on IG or something. He was like, "Oh, you can have that." I was like, "Yeah, it's not illegal to wear a plate carrier." But I agree with you on that gun laws. And look, I think especially here in in our Wayne County, man, Detroit, it was a lot of us getting jammed up, and they were getting, but some of it was some of the issues they didn't know about how to transport a firearm from and to a gun store, right? They were getting jammed
Mhm.
up because they was having it outside. They was getting jammed up for having a concealed weapon without a CPL license, right? Because they wasn't
Mm.
transporting it the correct way. And most of the time they probably weren't getting the right information. Like I call it, they wanted those microwave CPL classes, right? 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you sit there, they teach you how to shoot, but they don't give you all the do's and don'ts. They don't tell you how to transport, they don't tell you how to do this and that. And a lot of some of the guys were getting jammed up because they were just getting wrong information, man. And like I said, I agree with you on that. I do 100% agree with you on that. I guess one myth, I don't know if it's just in our community, like like don't buy the cheapest shit you see out there just because it's cheap.
Yes.
And don't buy the cheapest gun, firearm to protect your life just because Ray got it or seen it or what told you this and this. Like, do your due diligence. If my homeboy said like this, if you can't get that one firearm right now, like sell your money up and go get the best quality. Just don't get the cheapest one you see. And then, like I said, do your due diligence. Go into a good reputable gun store and, see if they ask for some questions. If they just always try to sell you stuff and push stuff in your face, that might not be the spot you want to buy something from. So
I agree.
go in there with some questions first. Go to a gun store. I know they got some good ones around Atlanta. They probably got a hella selection of rental firearms that you can rent and shoot,
Oh yeah,
and that way you
definitely.
can test them out. Cause I know with the one I go to, the one I'm at, they got hella rentals, so you can go in there and shoot from everything from staccatos to Glocks to FNs to this and that. So you'll get a feel for even SIGs. So you'll get a good feel of each firearm and how they work and how they run. So especially with the women, man, they come in there. I know you probably had this. They ask, you know, I was like, look, this is a gun to get. Like, I kind of push like the P365s because I think those are good concealed guns and firearms, to conceal. And they feel good in the hand. They shoot pretty good. So that's one of them guns. Firearms. I promote on, especially for the ladies. The ladies that come in and ask. So what's like when you have your classes of like 10 or 15 people, like do you get them guys in there that just ask you like what if this, what if that, can I do this, can I do
Oh
that?
yeah.
Like
Oh
it's the
yeah,
what if
definitely.
questions. It's like, what if? I'm like, man, you can't answer every damn what if question.
Nah. And I think the USCCA did a good job at telling instructors to be subjective and not give definitive answers on those what ifs. Like answer it, but keep it open ended answer. Don't tell nobody like, do it this way or that way. But I do get a lot of what ifs, but I also teach the gun laws in my classes, like quote it straight from the statute so that we can take and eliminate most of the gray area because some of the laws are gray area, but we do get a lot of what ifs and that shit's time consuming. As much as we want to sit there and answer all of them and go through every scenario, it's just time consuming. So it's like, yo, we got to make the best judgment that we can when we can with the information that we possess at the time.
Yeah. And that so and I know you said like what's another thing that separates you from other instructors, especially around that area because in Atlanta it's a lot of instructors. It's a lot of groups that do certain things in Atlanta. So what separates you from them? Well, except not what separates you, make you, who you are.
One of the biggest things is what I just said. I actually teach these gun laws in depth. That's one. The second one is I actually have secure facilities to teach at where my business is welcomed. A lot of people out here don't have secure areas. Like they got to knock on the door, and the ones that are in secure areas, it's only a few of them who have dedicated facilities. But we have three different dedicated facilities, so we can offer more variety when it comes to training and environment. So them two right there, man, hand over fist. That's how we get a lot of clients because we in three different locations. So if you can't get to this one, you can get to that one. You know what I'm saying? So we good.
Mm. So when you get them people to come in, like when they buying their first firearm, they come in training with like what's some of the advice you give them? Because you get them and they may have no experience or experience that may curb their idea that these things are bad. Like what I'm saying, like what advice and how you walk them people through that, especially they buying their first firearm or coming to their first training class.
Man,
Because you got some
what
people
you
that's hesitant to come in there and I know you probably had him like just it could be the biggest guy, biggest baddest dude, but he in there shaking, hands sweating, and all that stuff. So like, what advice did you talk to them about? Like, how do you
man,
get them to calm, to be calm and listen up?
it's always mental. It's always a mental thing because with anything that we do, man, it always started with us making a mental decision that we're gonna do it. So I just tell people like you already committed to it. So now that you committed to it, we got to kind of get through it. So basically, figuring out what the trigger is, and we keep low numbers in our classes so that we can give you that one-on-one structure because we need to know. Like we had one lady, right? She had got shot 7 times by her ex-husband, 7 times, and she sat front row in the class. Um, and understanding why what people been through and their reason on why they want to do it, it helps to give you the tools you need to have them complete a class successfully. Everybody don't complete a class though. I'd be lying if I told you that tactic work on everybody because everybody don't complete a class. Some people 1 2 shots, they out, they're done, and a lot of times it's the noise. So we understand that the noise is a problem. We got two outdoor facilities that we're gonna reschedule you at, and we actually work to accommodate people based on their needs. If that group class ain't for you, okay, well let's roll you into something more personal, one on one, and go to an environment that's gonna better suit what you're trying to do. Because ultimately, our goal is to make sure that you become a responsible gun owner. And when it comes to buying a gun, like you said, we want people to go try them guns out first. We can sell you anything. You got the money, we can sell it to you, but we want you to try it and make sure that it's a good fit for you before you actually lock down and make the purchase on it.
Right. So like, so what do you think about the? I'm gonna call it Black B2A, Black 2A community. How you think about that
In terms of what, just overall in general,
overall in general?
I think we got to do better, bro.
It's
I
crazy that
think,
we still. It's crazy that we still under. It's crazy that we still saying that. It's crazy. Even back then, it's like we got to do better, and it's still not like we got to do
man,
better. But
dog,
what in what aspects though? Like, give me some things that you
Be-
would like if you could fix this right now. What are the two things like you got five things, but you only can fix the first two. Which one would it be?
Thinking that this shit is a joke. We
Thinking
do
this shit
too
is a
much
joke.
laughing and joking, man. When you look at what other communities doing, bro, they're not on the internet making parodies about guns. They're not making parodies about gun ownership. They actually looking at how their rights are being threatened and how they might not have guns if they don't do nothing about it. Bro, we over here making jokes. It's funny to us. We're influencers for the culture because we want likes, we want views, we want to be accepted, and then we can get out of these companies to send us big guns. These companies want the money, and we want the interaction from our people, not educating. We just want the interaction. This man gonna send me a new FN scar to my 100,000 followers who just like when I get on here and do stupid stuff, and I'm gonna do that. But then you got people advertising these binary triggers. Like, do you understand the reason why they sent you that binary trigger? Do you know why they targeting your demographic? And to you, it's a joke. To you, it's a joke. So we got to do better, bro.
I
We
ain't
got to
even go.
understand the bigger picture and do better.
Is that one and two, or what's the second thing? Because
The,
I'm not an advocate of the I don't like the binary
I'm
triggers.
not.
I'm not.
I'm not a.
It's
No.
it get too messy for me with that. But go ahead. What's the second thing?
The second thing is kind of just what we talked about with the binary is understanding the bigger message. Like, we owe if you're gonna be a voice in the Black 2A community, you got to understand that that's a position. That's a very important position because once you take that position, I don't care what you're doing, but if you stood up and people looking at you and listening to you, now you got a responsibility that you just took on to deliver strong content to your community. If they want to get on the internet and laugh and joke, man, send them somewhere else. You shouldn't be taking part in that because this for real for us. If we had to go to war right now in the racial divide, bro, we'll lose. We'll get slaughtered. Hands down, bro, we'll get slaughtered.
Well, I think as long as we stay in our neighborhoods, we might be all right. Because
Yeah, we ain't
we
gonna do that though. We're not
we
gonna stay in the
stay.
neighborhood.
Hey,
They
the
gonna
hood
come in
is
our neighborhood, bro. They gonna come in the hood.
yeah. Well, my hey, it's so many speed bumps in my old hood. Like you got to go through there slow. But I do agree. I do agree that we take it. I think we take the right to bear arms for granted. But I think also with that is we got so much stuff we need to fix that some of that the right to bear arms get pushed down, and a lot of good people make sure they talk about that, especially with KD and a lot of other guys that's in his circle. They push that right, like we need to keep our rights to bear arms, especially in our
Man, most
community,
definitely.
because ain't nobody gonna protect us but us. And that's one thing that I tell people, and sometimes when I'm at the gun store and I talk to people and I try to educate, and if they buy a firearm because of my recommendation, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, they listen to me. You know what I'm saying? They're paying attention or whatever. And that's like, well, I bought this because you said this. And I was like, I just take it personal. Like, listen, I got some education. I've been behind a lot of different platforms, and I'm not steering you wrong. So I do agree with you 100%. So what influence has KD had on you as far as an instructor? And just how you instruct, how you run your business and everything. Because
Heavy, we ain't got enough time for that.
well, because
We ain't got enough time. You don't have enough time on this podcast for
hey,
me to tell you how heavy of an influence that man has been on me being an instructor. You ain't got enough
well,
time for that,
I
bro.
know because I can tell you this right now. We don't got enough time because you can ask KD one damn question and he can talk for like an hour and a half about if I hey man, what you think about a penny? Well, it's brown.
Dog,
This
I'm
this.
gonna put it to you. I'm gonna put it to you like this. So I was out there training yesterday, and he just made a pop up appearance out there. And after the class, bro, we sat for like 3 hours just talking, just kicking it, dog. Um, KD has been very instrumental in me training because once I started taking his classes and working with him, he could see the passion. He could see my direction. He asked me, he's pulled me to the side and asked me like, "What you want to do with this? Like, where you going? Like, you working, but where you going?" And when he understood where I'm trying to go and my mission, it was like, all right, cause KD, he ain't that easy win over guy, man. And once he saw the dedication, it's just been like, all right, well, what you need? And I never forget that. He asked me, he said, yo, what do you need? What do you need specifically from me to help you? And we had to talk about it, bro, and shit. It's been on since.
Man, I I haven't had the opportunity to be in OG's space long enough to sit down and really kick it with him. If I text him and ask me something, he gonna be like, "You better come to train and learn. You better come to train and learn."
Bro,
Like if I'd have came to train and learn, I'll be alumni. But like when they first started it in St. Louis, I probably would be alumni now, and he probably would answer the questions that I ask him. But when I ask
yeah.
him something, are you coming to train and learn? Are you doing this? I'm just like, KD, just answer the question, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I love you. Like, I got nothing but love for you, man. Like, I don't even know you like that or whatever, but we share the same name and the stuff I've been seeing you do every time I see you, like at SHOT Show, whatever, it's always love. Like he always come and speak to me, hug, we dap it up, whatever, whatever. Like we've been knowing each other for years. And people is not that genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like all the
Nah.
time, especially in 2A space. Like we don't even know each other. We just know each other on IG. Bro brought some shirts from me and whatever, whatever. And when I was doing, when I still have my 2A apparel company, Heavy Metal Lifestyle. So just because of that, on the strength of that, shit, he can always have my vote. It's KD for president. It is what it is.
Man, yeah,
Um,
straight up.
it is what it is. But I was just wondering, man, because like for him to have a compound in Atlanta is so huge. Where people can train, that where you can come to and feel free to train, and he like I he want whoever, you know what I'm saying. It's whoever's good people, he want them out there. And especially on the compound, especially it's a great thing he's doing, what him and Devin's doing with the kids,
With the
kings to
kids,
kids,
bro,
yeah,
bro,
like
they
that's
had the
that's
kids
heavy.
out there going to work, bro. Like the overall mission, you know what I'm saying, of his compound and giving those kids an opportunity, dog, is like, man, we talk about that so much, man, and it's a beautiful thing to see him not only just talking about it, but actually being active in these kids, like getting these kids and getting them big sponsors to give them stuff, man. It's instrumental, bro. It's
So,
definitely instrumental, man.
it, and I don't know how other people look at situations with Katie stuff that Katie do, but he was actually at the NRAM. Y'all was at NRAM, and he was
Yeah.
able. Little young dog got a firearm for his birthday. He was able to get a company to give a firearm to a youngin to put him on to teach him a different.
Wait a minute, bro.
Well,
Ruger actually sponsors them kids. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
man,
Like he actually got a company to sponsor young black brothers and gave my man a birthday present. It was a Ruger, right? I don't
yeah,
know what it was,
yeah. He
but
got to
like
pick. He got to pick off the wall whichever one he wanted.
whichever one he wanted. Like I don't understand. People, to me, that was monumental. Like that was like
Bro,
he got enough reach that he can
monumental.
talk to a company that do that. Because in our community we don't own nothing, right?
Nope,
We don't own nothing. We don't have no brand, not yet. But we ain't been in the
not
game
yet.
long enough to
Right.
have a brand or a company that's foundation. The foundation's been around so long that we can lean on like a whoever make like a Ruger, what I'm saying, company like
Yeah.
that to make firearms, that a Daniel Defense, rifle company. We don't have that. Is what I'm saying. We don't have no ownership in that. So the only thing we can do is create culture around that. We can create buzz around that, and we can, and KD is that person. Look, hey,
I mean,
give my little give my little
while you
youngin a
on
firearm. He like, yeah, I
while you
got you.
on that, I'm hoping that Ross Martin could do that. Cause man, Chris got some. He dope, bro. He dope. And I actually found out more about his company through KD. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that he can stay on track. But circling back to what you were saying about KD, there's a couple other companies that man got to work with them kids. He ain't came out and publicly put it out there because he ain't that kind of guy. But I've
Oh,
seen some
you ain't even
people.
gotta say no more. I already know. Like I know his track record and people
Yeah.
he was working with in the past that's been on his team that's been rocking with him. So like I said, he can call people and get stuff happen. Like,
Oh yeah.
a lot of people can't do that.
Straight up.
I mean, I don't know
No,
if
no,
they can
they
or
can't.
can't, but
They,
but
I mean,
I'm
they
just saying.
could, but yeah, the strings he pulled, like some of the stuff I've seen, some of the people I've seen support the kids, I wouldn't spend money with them just because they supporting these little black kids. I don't even need it, but I done dropped a couple hundred just because you supporting these black kids. You don't even know why. I just here's my order, bro. Give me that, and I'm gonna do something with it. But because I see you supporting me at 10 years old, I'm gonna support you. You ain't have to
Yeah,
do that.
I thought I seen. I was like, man, that boy KD got some rhythm with that. One thing I want you to say before we end, and I want you to call KD and text him like Heavy said, why'd you have that Easter suit on at MRAM? Like, bro had the pinstripe, the sky blue
He was
pinstripe.
clean too, bro.
He was clean. That's that St. Louis. I was like, Katie, why you got a Easter's past, bro? Why you got the white pinstripe suit on, my guy? But it is what it is. I got
Oh man, yeah,
I got
he was
love
clean
for
too,
him,
man.
and hey, man, like I said, I appreciate you coming on Double Tap, Mr. Harrison. Man, did you have fun? Was it a good show, man?
Oh
Did
man,
you?
definitely, bro. It's probably one of the best podcasts I've been on so far, man.
Oh my God! I
Definitely
hope I got
enjoyed
to
it, bro.
get
I
that
definitely
clip.
enjoyed it. Oh
Hey, I gotta
shit.
get that clip for sure, man. I gotta get down there in Atlanta, man. I gotta run up with Big Mike and me and you. We go kick it, go shoot. I gotta get to the compound, man. I gotta get down
Man,
there.
look, man. When you come out here, man, you hit Big Mike, and then I'm gonna hit KD, man. We'll go out there where it's private, at, where we really can be secluded and not bothered, and
With
we can run anything
private.
we want too, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's just, hey, bro, it's like a country club down there. Ain't nobody down there but the wildlife, dog. Nobody's down, and you can run whatever you want. Ain't nobody down there but the wildlife, bro. Like quiet.
Man, once again, I ain't coming to train and learn, but I'm the low. The problem with train and learn is I'm the low man on the totem pole when it comes to vacations. So back in the day, my son was young. He was traveling with baseball, and I couldn't make it. I'm gonna be at my son game. So it is what it is with that. Now he a little older. He old. He in college now. Do your thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been with you for a minute. You can take care of yourself now.
So you know it's
So
gonna be here next year, bro. Just go on and clear your calendar for next year. Just come on, man.
hey, that sounds like something KD would say. Hey, I know the influence. It's gonna be here next year. You
Hey,
might as well
you
put that on
already
the
know
calendar
it.
now.
You might
Right.
as well, man. Lock it
I
in.
I seen they got some he keep rotating instructors. I like that. It ain't
Oh yeah.
it's like, I mean, I know people probably got schedules that can't make it, but he got some, some good people coming in, man. Good
Oh
companies, great
yeah.
companies, good information. I need to reach out to KD. I want to try to get him on here for like a 30-minute little conversation so we can talk about train and learn. Hopefully he'll do it. Do it. I know you're a busy man. So I'll reach out to him and see. Maybe put that bug in his ear. He may be like,
Man,
yeah.
I'm gonna shoot him a text right now while I'm on here with you. I'm gonna shoot him a text and be like, Heavy said he want to get you on a podcast to talk about train and learn.
Talk about train and learn, man. Talk about train and learn. I think it's been like 5-6 years now, something like that.
I think so, 5 or 6.
No, 3. I think he had to quit during COVID. He didn't do COVID. But anyway, man, let people know where they can find you at, follow you at, and all that good stuff, man, and where they can get the book at.
All right, so all my information, man, is literally all my social media is at Double Tap Coalition. My website is doubletapcoalition.com. And if you want to get your hands on this book, it's
Hold
on
on, hold on, hold on.
Amazon.
There you
All
go.
right.
Back it up a little
All you
bit,
gotta do is
little bit. Back it up a little bit,
right
a
up,
little bit more.
right up, a
There
little
you
more.
go. Cool. That's cool.
All right. So all you gotta do is type in Firearms 101 for beginners on Amazon, and it's gonna pop right up, man. Y'all can get it if you got Amazon Prime. Man, you 2 day shipping, it'll get right over to you with no problemo. But other than that, man, my numbers on all my social media, my email out there. I ain't hard to get in contact with, so you can even find me on YouTube, man. It's just Double Tap Coalition across every platform, and that's me.
Send me that link, man. I'm gonna go in there and get me a book. Grab me a book.
No, man.
On there.
I send you the link if you want it ASAP. But if you shoot me your info, man, I'm gonna zip you a couple copies out.
Sign me one, man. I don't want sign me one. Sign it.
I got you. I
Sign
got
me
you, man.
one,
I
man.
sign you one, man.
Put a
I got a
card
couple
in.
of
I
them
need you
coming
to
in.
sign me one. Uh, put a card in there. All that good stuff. You got a double
Yeah,
tap
yeah, I got you,
patch.
man.
Something. I need
Yeah,
some
of
double
course.
tap.
Yeah, man, bro. Just send me your shipping info and give me like a week or two, and I get you hooked up with a couple things, man. You know what I'm saying? We do it like that.
Right. You know what I'm saying? The double tap coalition. They call me Mr. Double Tap because I'm always double tapping the
Man, you
double
already know what
tapping.
it's about then.
Yeah, I'm always double tapping the target, bro. You gonna catch 2 from me off rip.
Man, off
If it
rip,
only take 1, you catching 2 off rip.
you gonna get two. It's just
You gonna
ain't no way
you,
around it. You gonna
ain't
catch me
nowhere
too,
around it,
man.
bro. Hey man,
Nah.
like I said, thanks for having you on the show, bro. We about to end it up. So look, everybody, please hit that like and subscribe button, man. Share it. Hit the like button, subscribe button, even leave a comment, man. And, so we can catch that algorithm, we can get these numbers up, so we can do some bigger and better things. But like I said, this year in 2025, man, the Pop Culture Podcast is doing, we changing the game up a little bit. We pivoting a little bit. We doing interviews with some people, man, that you may not know about, or some people you have heard about. But anyway, that's it for me, man. Game recognize game. We recognize you, so please recognize us. And when I'm out, peace.